everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm your host, THUR. I have with me my two favorite people in the world, Genty Maxie.
Hello.
And Terry G. Candace.
Hey, everyone.
Remind myself, next time, do not take a sip of soda just before the show starts. Pressing all the buttons. Pressing all the buttons and burping at the same time. Don't know what the hell. Anyway, let's say hi to chat. Out of the way before we introduce the show. Kieverdan was first. Okay. OG Costin's out there. Big Tro is joining us. JB. What else we got? Scrolling. I saw an S go by. Spud gun. I thought I saw an S go by. And of course, everyone else will be rolling in around 9:30. Not a lot on the menu today to talk about, but we could probably have a long conversation on both of these topics. First one is Musky. That's Elon Musk, who's caved and has gone ahead and bought Twitter, or is going forward with buying Twitter. They say could be ready to be the official CEO by Monday. So that's interesting.
Well, I hope so. That would be interesting.
That would be very interesting. Also, Kanye and Candace wearing clothes that say White Lives Matter on the outside. Something I would expect from Candace. Didn't really expect it from Yeezy, but it is what it is. Anything else going on with you guys before we get to those two news articles? Anything else going on?
I mean, it's not a news story, but it is my nephew's birthday today.
Oh.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
How old's your nephew?
He's now 1 year old. So,
One?
Yeah. So I still haven't met him in person because
you don't meet people?
the lockdowns and stuff. So this year for Christmas, I should be able to go down, so I'll get to see him. And
is he a different?
Yeah.
Is he in a different state?
Yes, he's down in Victoria.
Okay.
All my family is in Victoria, except I'm in Sydney.
So Victoria is the crazy lockdown place, right?
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
So I'm not saying this to take the piss out of your sibling, but my neighbor's kid, when she cries, sounds exactly like the koala in that video where it gets kicked out of the tree. So ask yours if there's any similarities.
Fair enough.
It's only foreigners that happens, right? It's like people believe that people in Australia drink Fosters. No, they don't.
Legit, this kid just sounded exactly like a koala. I was just like, wow, I've heard howlers, but that one's unique.
Well, let's go ahead and get into the news then. Which one do we do first?
Talk about masks. That's the one I'm most interested in.
Yeah, well,
Me too, because I called it.
well,
did.
I think we all knew it was going to happen, but it's just that he has decided to go back to the original asking price. What was it? 45.02.
44 billion.
Yeah, 45.02 cents or $45.20 per share.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it comes up to like 44 billion. Whatever.
I think he made a point that it was 44.20 because he wanted the 420 thing in there.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like, I mean, I think most of his point was to be about the bots to begin with.
Yeah.
And
I think complaining that they're losing like thousands of followers because Twitter's like, oh shit, he's actually buying it. Nuke all the bots.
Yep. Which is good. I don't mind that. Like, even if it means that, like, my petty thing on Twitter, which, to be honest, I honestly really do try to just stick to shilling on Twitter. Like, when I argue with people on there, I do leave the argument feeling like I wasted my time. Because I did.
Oh, you did.
Right?
I have not lost any followers, and I'm still following the same number of people. So whatever they're doing as far as bots, apparently bots don't affect me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember how many I was following before, but I'm still following about the same, about 930.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have lost some, I can't tell you, but not a huge amount. And my followers haven't dropped at all.
There's this Twitter person that you might have heard of. His name's Cat Turd.
Yeah. I like him. He's funny.
He lost like 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I could see losing a couple hundred here and there. Like Maria DeLuca lost 250. I was like, oh, that's, you're a big enough person. You got a couple 100,000. That's understandable.
I don't know if you guys know him, but Bran Radier, he actually got swept up and got classed as a bot, and he got his account back, but
he got it for spamming,
yeah, it was just
right?
funny. It's just like he got swept up in it.
Yeah, he said he got his channel was kicked off because he was spamming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he probably got caught up in the bot.
He does tweet a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Cynic's out there. Hey, Cynic and Camel.
Hi, Cynic.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
And Camel, the same here. He's saying he's still gaining followers, so they're not doing a good job nuking the bots. Porn bots seem to be allowed. I think it's only political bots that they're worried about.
Assassin of the Greys joined us in chat too. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, I thought when I started seeing people tweeting that they were losing people, I was like, I checked my numbers, and all right, well, that's the same as it was, and I just checked it now, and it hasn't changed. So I'm not important enough to have bots following me, apparently, and that's fine with me.
Well, I mean, porn bots, everyone gets those.
I don't have any porn bots. At least if there are porn bots, when I go and I looked at all my followers, or I went to check their names, and they're all like people names, and the bios are like non-porn bios. They're just everyday, normal bios. So I don't have any, as far as I know, I don't have any porn bots following me.
Okay, cool. Because I've got 500 followers on Twitter, and I would estimate about 400 of them are porn bots.
How do you? I guess once you get one, right?
Yeah.
We follow each other, so you're gonna get all of them.
Yeah, I mean, every time I get a notification saying that I've gained a follower, it's always a porn bot. It's like, I'm surprised, like, oh wow, this one's actually real. In the rare cases that it's an actual person.
Camel says Rakita got his channel nuked.
He did.
I wonder if that was Keffels that did it.
I would imagine so.
Because I hear, I didn't see any evidence, but I just hear that those two went at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Keffels was going after Rakita.
Yeah, she got Destiny. I know she got him kicked off because he was ban evading. So that's, he was in the wrong there. Although everybody wants him to be on, he was breaking the law. So yeah, he had to go, but she didn't have to do that. But yeah, but she's, I'm watching her talking to other people, and even Claudia is like, this is a bad chick. Claudia was like, was on her side at the beginning, but even she's jumped ship, and now she's like, you're a liar. I mean, there's strong words for her, to come right out against a trans person and just say, you're a bad person, you're a liar, blah, 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 blah. I was like, go get him, Claudia. Holy shit. And the reason I like her so much, she ain't afraid of pulling the trigger on her own side.
That's true.
Well, that's kind of the problem with a lot of her side, is that she's kind of rare for it. Like they point fingers at us all the time. Like if you bring up things like the trans kids going to clubs and stuff, and they're like, well, your side does it. I'm like, well, okay, when you point that shit out, I've never seen people not go after people for doing that shit. Because hindsight, maybe there are some people on the straight side who are naughty, because there always has been. That's why we have laws for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
Spud, chat wants me to say.
Yeah, Spud Gun. I'm watching chat, Spud. We don't have a lot of topics tonight, so I'm gonna be able to pay more attention to chat. Rakita wasn't ban evading. Destiny was.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, each names of the people that complain about him to the Camel says he read out the names of people that complained about him to the Minnesota bar. Yeah, if you always want to be kind of careful when you're dealing with a lawyer, because he kind of knows what's legal and what's not. So
Yeah.
if you're going to get into a tussle with him, make sure what you do and what what you complain about and all that kind of stuff is legal stuff, because they know how to get you. So it should be interesting to see. I know that there's a couple of stations out or channels out there like Libs of TikTok who have got everything in place. So if anything happens to their channel, they've already have a suit ready to go. You know,
Yeah.
they're just waiting for Twitter to ban them so they can sue them. So
Well, Lives of TikTok is with Babylon B now, so she's got their whole sort of legal team supporting her now.
yeah.
So she's fine.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance that Twitter will go after her, but
But I mean, if she's looking to sue, she's got like access to Babylon B's legal team.
right,
It's not just one woman on her own anymore.
right. Well, that's another thing. And, I would think that Babylon B at this point, enough time has gone by. I don't see why they don't sue to get back on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were they perma-banned?
They were.
Oh, jeez. Well,
I think
they're still on Rumble, aren't they?
Well, I mean, they've also got Seth Dillon and Kyle Mann just tweeting the articles anyway. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to follow the Babylon B, just follow them, and you'll see all the tweets that you would have seen anyway.
Yeah. Check Your Logic says, "Holy shit, Skep 70 now." He's got to be the oldest person in the group, I guess, right? Him and what? I don't know how I don't know how old Prospero is. But
Skep's older than Prospero.
Yeah, I know they're both older than I am. By the way, hey, Check Your Logic.
Hey, check.
And yeah, I think I'm number 3 in line on the age list when it comes to minions. I think I'm the 3rd oldest person because I'm staring at 60 at the end of the year. Big 60. Won't that be fun?
I am nowhere near the top. I think it's safe to say. I'm going to be 42. And
I think the average is like 40 for our group.
Yeah.
It was lower before when we had people like Zelthor and stuff.
Jacob and Kaira.
Yeah, they're all young kids, so.
I mean, technically they're still minions. It's just they don't stream much with us anymore.
Yeah. Well, they kind of stream a little bit with Platy on his stuff, so they're still online streaming. And I see Zelthor out on Noir Bar, I think, every once in a while. I mean, definitely see what's her face far out there, and Samuel, the guy from
the French
guy. Yeah, and we all know him as the same thing. Oh yeah, the French guy. Yeah, see him all the time on. They're all fairly young, so Polly's getting up there. I have to get a chance to get in touch with him and call him old. Because I got nothing better to do. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you're getting old, man. Geez, thanks, Hammer.
And Kevin, yeah, she was born in 1958. That's her username is like Prospero058. That's why it is that.
Yeah. Keyram says, "I'll sing for you, Hammer." Yeah. The funny thing is, my birthday is literally December 31st. So
one of the few I can remember. Like,
yeah.
Everyone else has got no idea when their birthday is. Yours is hard to figure out.
Yeah. So I don't think I've ever had the Monkey Crew sing for me. I usually don't get online on New Year's Eve, so I'm usually at a party or something like that. So I've never gone through that whole thing with. But yes.
I remember one time I sent a super chat to Scribe that was just, "I'm old now, sing."
Sing, peasant, you will sing for me now, like the king in his court. Sing.
I mean, that was a thing that they did, so they took them up on the offer.
Yeah, well, Monkey's still doing it on his stream, so.
Yeah.
Didn't they just do what was it, Lords of the Stake? What was that all about?
I have no idea.
It was the 3 of them doing, I guess, a Lords of the Night stream for the old time's sake.
I didn't know what it was. I just saw Lords of the Stake, and I assumed it was just unrelated. I just thought it was like someone, you know, using a similar name. It's like, I don't care. But if it was them, then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, what crossed my mind is Satsu has become a chef.
Oh, nice.
So I figured maybe he was doing a Lords of the Night, but he was cooking steak at the same time as the show.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I never watched it. It was on his channel. I didn't watch it. He's been having computer problems. I've been working with him to get his machine. It's just unstable. It's not like it's a bad performance problem or something like that. It just keeps locking up, giving him a hard time. I think we got to fix it.
So people started saying it was a game stream.
Yeah.
The steak thing was a game stream.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And they were playing the cooking simulator.
Oh, okay. That makes even more sense.
Yeah. It was Squidus' birthday.
Yeah. Ilea.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people still call Ilea Squidus because,
that's just what we got used to.
For 9 months, that was her name,
It's a mixture of Squishy and Satsu-ish.
It was Squishy and Fetus, Squidus.
Yeah.
But now that she's born, I've been trying to call her Ilea. It still slips out every once in a while. I still call her Squidus, but I've been trying to call her.
I do every once in a while.
Yeah. I still call her Squidus because Squidus is a much funnier name.
Like if she's on screen, I stick to Ilea just because she's still a little girl. But yeah, for the keks, I every once in a while say Squidus. But it's also because she was just a cute squishy baby,
If I was talking to her, then sure, I'm not going to call her Squidus. But talking about her, yeah, she's Squidus. Everyone knows who I mean by Squidus.
Yeah, everyone does. Mash is in chat.
Hi, Mash.
I need
Concretia.
I need to plug Mash's YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to Mash on YouTube, go ahead and do that because she does videos with usually Asian music of her dancing. She has a little avatar on the screen. It's really cool. So if you haven't subscribed to her YouTube channel, you should probably go do that.
I mention it every time, but the name Ilea just reminds me of the song September by Earth, Wind and Fire. It's like, Aliyah, say you remember. And it's like, I can't think of anything else when I hear that name. So Squidus avoids that nicely.
I think Kiradam has the correct spelling because I think of this, like I think I mentioned before, I think of the singer Ilea, and she had 2 L's and no H in her name. So... yeah, Assassin says everyone calls her Squidus. I know it just doesn't. Maybe I'm the odd guy out here. It just doesn't feel comfortable to refer to her as
you'll
part
say
squishy
that,
and part fetus. Not a fetus.
But I remember the gaming era where we would play games with him, and Stunlock would be like, "Coat the walls, Satsu! It's time to coat the walls."
How about we call her Squid? She's not a fetus anymore. She's a kid. So Squid.
Squidus kid, right? Squid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen pictures of her lately? Have you seen her on the stream?
She's adorable.
Not recently.
She's a big girl. Yeah, she's getting big. She's still adorable. I gotta tell you, she is like the cutest baby I've ever seen in my life. Babies are usually pretty ugly, but she was pretty from day one. She's gonna be a killer when she gets older.
Yeah.
She's gonna have her pick, man.
Yeah, and I think she's gonna be spicy like her grandma. She's gonna be funny.
I think of the singer
Ilea. Kate Dame is saying she thinks of the singer Ilea as well.
Yeah. I can play a song by Ilea to close the show tonight. I used to use it all the time. I forget what it's called, but I'll play that tonight because we're talking about her. Well, yeah, I mean, we covered Elon. Did you guys want to talk about Yeezy? Oh, that stupid name.
I mean,
Kanye.
I don't think there's as much to say there. They were wearing White Lives Matter shirts. People say it's racist. It's not.
He was wearing a black shirt with white lettering, and she was wearing a white shirt with black lettering.
Yes.
It's It's more of people yet again making things more out of it than they need to, and because they doubled down, they're just basically letting everybody know what they really think. You know, because when Black Lives Matter really first started, yeah, all lives matter was a thing because it should be the way it is, and then Blue Lives was a thing. But at the same time, everyone has been pointing out the flaw with Black Lives Matter since the get-go. Okay, so from the get-go, it's never been about all Black lives, ever.
No.
Like at any point has the Black community themselves come up to them and been like, so what about like all the shit that goes on in our own communities that causes us to, you know, not matter? But they always go back to the police brutality thing, which in all honesty, that is a problem in the US. It's also a problem
not
up
even
here.
That. Black Lives Matter unless you're conservative. Like the Black Lives Matter crew are not celebrating your boy Pat for being a great black man. They're like, no, you're a coon. You fucking horrible person. You don't agree with us, so you're evil. It's like, so what happened to Black Lives Matter?
Well, it's not just that. It's an active allowance for levels of racism and intolerance to somebody who just has a different point of view. But on top of that, legit, they really don't give a shit about other issues in the Black community that leads to Black people suffering and death. Like black on black crime is thrown in their face all the time, as it should be. Because little babies should be able to go with their dads to McDonald's and know that they're going to go home after. But they don't talk about that stuff. They'd rather talk about George Floyd, who, you know, was a total champion, man. Like he was great, you know, totally a great guy. But you know, I feel for that community, you know, because even if they do have a dude who's kind of someone you could look up to, well, you know, like Bill Cosby, well, he bad touched some people.
Check
like, I think you might be getting the same censorship issue that I am, where it's just putting the smiley at the end of your message, not the actual message.
Johnny, yeah.
Hi, Johnny.
Johnny says Black Lives Matter except for Clarence Thomas and Thomas Sowell.
Right? Yeah. And then all gloves come out and they're just some of the most racist people on the planet talking to them. And you're just like, no wonder. No wonder. But
yeah, what's going on with chat? I notice if I type at somebody and put a smiley face, only the smiley face comes through.
That has been happening to me for a few days now. It's annoying.
Let me try it on the Minions account and see if it's something to do with just moderators. At KYI, yep, smiley face.
Nope, does the same thing.
Same, even with somebody, even with the channel runner, it still does it.
Yeah.
I was replying to you, Keywordam, that was a song indeed. But for some reason, if you put in an icon along the same line as, but so Spud got it right.
At everyone.
Oh, he didn't put an at in front of Hellcat. That's why.
Yeah, but Jenny's saying at everyone. That doesn't. It's only if you tag an actual person.
Right.
So if I did like at Johnny Hellcat, hello smiley face, it would just put the smiley face.
Yep, that's what's happening.
Yeah, Johnny's got it too.
So it has to be a single target.
Mm-hmm. He won't even let me add him properly.
Somebody who actually is in the chat, if you go to the dots, the 4 dots on the right hand side and click on participants, those are all the people who are actually participating. So if you try to add somebody who's not here, that'll work. But if they actually are here and you're trying to talk directly to them, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's really annoying, but I've noticed that as long as the smiley face is not the end of the sentence, it'll actually go through. So if I do
smiley face first and then at Jen, it works.
Hello, smiley face, full stop. See, that one went through. I just put a full stop at the end, like after the smiley face, and now it goes through.
What did you put in after the smiley face?
Anything. I just put a full stop, but anything as long as it's not the final character in the message.
That's really stupid. Come on, YouTube, get it together, man.
Johnny could message me because he put the smiley face first.
That's weird.
And it's gone back to the other way.
Yeah. That sucks because I do a lot of that. I do a lot of at someone's smiley face. I do that a lot.
So do I.
What is it? And would a space be enough? If you put a space after the smiley face, does it work?
Let's find out. That means smiley face space. Space works.
Oh, okay. Well, I can adapt.
Yeah.
Look at all the smiley faces in chat now.
Well, at least we got some interaction. That's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's fine. Yeah, I Candace believes it. I think Kanye probably believes it too, but I bet you Kanye was the one who came up with the idea.
Well, I think it's a mixture of both because, before she had tried to do something with him back when he did that dragon energy thing for Trump, she did really try for something. But I think the thing is she did it with the assertion that she was just invited to. And he told her off for it. But I think this time around, I think it's not just them. It's stuff that I had this opinion based off of the black side of Hollywood, based off of Chris Rock and the stuff that went down with Will Smith. And they've been speaking out more often than you'd think. Like if you look back in the past, they've been like, hey, you know what? Hold on. Let's tone this down. It's going a little bit, even in joking tones, they've been pointing out that this is kind of fucked up. So,
I'm going to be honest. I'm not fully convinced Candace does believe it. Like, I still don't trust her.
Oh, I think she buys into it. But at the same time, though, I think the Kanye side, like, I don't doubt part of it's him just like having a laugh at it too. But at the same time, though, I mean, think about it. How much money do you think they make from the white community? A lot, because we're fans. Not maybe necessarily, like, I'm not necessarily a fan of Kanye, but he has a shit ton of white fans.
He has to keep them happy, too, because that's a source of income for him.
Well, it's not just that. It's shitty to do. Like, the people who are buying and supporting from you and telling you for years that, like, yeah, they like you, they love you, like, they respect you, they quote you and shit like that. But then Hollywood is telling you, well, yeah, you should tell these people that they're kind of shitty people. Like, I would feel uncomfortable with that after a point too. Money or no money. Well, maybe that's just me, but like, and Kanye's a different breed. Like, he's an artiste. Yeah, he's an artiste.
Even amongst artists, he is a different breed.
I have no real love for either of them. I'm not huge fan of Candace or Kanye, but
he could also just be doing it to flip the bird at Kim Kardashian too, for all you know.
Well, I mean, I think it's just they want attention.
I don't yet trust Candace 100%. There's people that are on her side. I'm not as on her side as your typical conservative, but I don't trust her because of what was it, the website she used? Social autopsy. Yeah.
Social autopsy.
She never explained that, and because she never explained it, I'm never going to trust her 100%. But I've watched the Candace show. I watched her show, and I don't have there's nothing that she says on there that would give me pause. I don't believe in everything in the same proportions that she does, but I generally agree with a lot of what she says. And I would believe that she believes that that's a valid statement. White Lives Matter. I believe that she thinks that that's a valid statement. But
I think she believes whatever is, convenient at the moment. She went from far left to right.
A lot of people
way too fast.
A lot of people have gone that way. It's quite the vortex. From everybody I've watched, there's a girl I just subscribed to, who is a huge lefty, who became a huge righty. Now she's doing all right content on her webpage, and she went from like 400 users to 10,000 users.
I
And
wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't partially have to do with that push. You know, when they say that politically speaking, the left has really pushed people, that push has actually really hurt a lot of people. Like with Candace as an example, if you'd gone from thinking that leftists were on your side to the virtual that she probably does get, like the racism that they actually direct at people of color is very insightful when you see it.
Mhm.
You know, and it's very derogatory. Very. You know, so I think after a while of seeing that over and over again and then interacting with people who, yeah, might even call her out for the same shit that Terry has, or at least call her on her ideas, but aren't treating her like she's somehow mentally stunted or abused or there's something wrong with her because her beliefs are wrong. You know, like that human experience can change somebody's personal opinion on something, especially when you're treated a lot better. But I don't know, like, one of the things that I found really frustrating with myself is trying to not contradict myself when I listen to people who are people of color who use leftist talking points. You know, like, I don't want to degrade to the point where, well, I disregard what they're saying in case maybe they have some kind of point that makes sense, or to start calling them names, or to start like browbeating them into believing what I believe, because I have seen people on their side legit do that to people I know, like not just Satsu, but other Black YouTubers. And it's just, it is kind of gross.
The YouTuber I was talking about that went from left to right in a fairly short period of time, her YouTube channel is called Freely Ashley.
Okay.
And she still has pink hair and like a septum ring and all this kind of stuff. She still looks, if you just glance at her, you think, oh, that's a lefty. So she still kind of looks like it, but you can hear in her voice, she's sincere. She explained what happened to her because she was she was right down the line, lefty, pro-abortion, socialist, all the typical talking points. But she saw the instances where the left was being hypocritical, and she couldn't stand that. Some people don't mind hypocrisy. They can, you know, compartmentalize it and, you know, ignore it. But apparently she wasn't one of them. Once she started seeing, she says it only took her about a week before she was completely on the other side of the fence. Just by doing research.
It's even like abortion issues. So like, I can't remember the name of this celebrity. It's the wife of John Lennon, legend. What's her face?
Oh,
but she
I know who you're talking about.
She tried to compare an abortion to somebody having
miscarriage.
What's it called? Yeah. And I'm sorry, I've never had one of those, but I knew a coworker who had 8 of them. And what she described to me was the most hideously
insensitive.
No, it's not an experience that you laugh about. When she would have these abortions, like when she would find these little baby fetuses, it was the memory of her mom or her current loved one or herself, because they aren't little clumps of cells. They're little bodies with faces that you can actually recognize the features of.
Yeah.
So when she said shit like that, knowing that what she actually did was tear apart her firmly developed baby, when you say that kind of stuff to people, even if they were liberal minded, like, yeah, you know what, you know, there are people who will rationalize the odd case where an abortion might be rational. Even I can do that. Like, you know, the kid is literally going to die and is going to kill you. I can understand somebody being in that position and being like, okay, you know what? All right, I don't want to do that.
Well, Tegan did have a miscarriage.
That's what she started off with, but then she turned around and said that it was just like an abortion.
Yeah.
And then she described an abortion.
Right. But she actually did have a miscarriage.
I don't know.
But
I don't know with it. I don't know with her. I wouldn't.
But she changed afterwards and said no. But she didn't have a voluntary abortion. This child aborted itself.
That's what she changed the story 3 times. So I don't know with her. Like, there's a lot of conspiracies with her that she did it on purpose. But I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the person who throws that down. But the way she talked about it was just, a lot of feminists do that. A lot of the left does that. And I'm just saying, as somebody who used to be a little bit more liberal in that regard, I no longer am. Because they say that kind of stuff in front of women who have had that experience. Like I said, 8 times with a little body that looks kind of like you and a little bit like your parents or a little bit like your loved one. And she'd lost her mom. So 8 times of that kind of trauma is not something that you make a joke out of and then think you're going to win followers.
I was fine when it was safe, legal, and rare. Then they decided that rare was no longer part of it, and it's just like, no, it should be safe and abundant, and you're a good person if you kill your baby. It's like, okay, no.
If they would have stayed with safe, legal, and rare, we wouldn't have had Roe overturned.
Yes,
exactly.
And yeah, I don't really like that topic with them because they're so manipulative. They use so much gaslighting, and then some of the stuff they say is just, it's so unbelievably sociopathic, actually. Like somebody who lacks the ability to understand human emotions or feelings or pain. And that's disturbing to other people. It just is. Sorry. They don't win me with that one. They don't win me.
And Candace is a mother. She has 2 kids, right?
Yeah, she does. Well, I don't know about 2, but I know she's got a kid. So
I'm fine with abortion as a last resort. Like, sometimes it is the least awful option. Yeah. And like, it's a shitty situation, but you do what you got to do. It shouldn't be, you know what? Fuck it. I don't feel like having a baby. I'm just gonna scoop it out. No. You've lost me there.
And I don't think there's anybody who wants to shame women who are in that position, because in all honesty, that's still a miscarriage in my mind. To me, that's still technically a miscarriage, because if you were still planning to fully have that kid to term, it just didn't happen. Babies are delicate.
But no, if the mother's life is in danger, 100% no problem with them getting that baby removed.
And they keep lying about that too. That's the other part that really drives me crazy, is they keep saying, oh, well, you don't even want abortion when the woman's life is on the line. Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
They also lie about stuff too. So now, to be fair, I understand the situation. So there was that young girl, I can't remember, I think she was actually 10. And they keep talking about her abortion and all this stuff about her abortion. And don't get me wrong, she probably does need, I don't know what it's like having a kid when you're still a baby, but they keep saying that that's what she wants. And I'm like, I don't think she's ever had anyone ask her what she wants. She's 10. Now, don't get me wrong. In that situation, I would, because it's the health of a 10-year-old. Yeah, I'm a little bit more on the side of, if it has to happen, then I would abort that.
But I still wouldn't have room for that, because a cesarean section is perfectly legitimate at 10 years old. If she had to,
like I said, I doubt anyone has actually ever asked her her opinion.
But I mean, as far as the technical side of it, or whether it's survivable or not, I can understand having a vaginal birth being something too traumatic for the womb of a 10-year-old girl to be able to handle, depending on the size of the fetus. But going in with cutting a 6-inch line across the abdomen and taking out like a cesarean section, I mean, age really shouldn't. 10 shouldn't be too young to do that. So, I'm going to err more on the side of only if you absolutely have no other choice. And I think cesarean section in that circumstance was a choice. Now, maybe they didn't want to, or maybe there were mitigating factors. Maybe she had what they call it, a tilted uterus, where cesarean sections become suddenly very difficult to do. All right, I don't know about that, but as long as the birther their life isn't in challenge, then I think you should, all things being equal, have the baby. Put it up for adoption if you want. If you think you can handle keeping it, then keep it. But don't
I want to
kill the
make
baby.
it clear. I want to make it clear to Gray and Spud Gun. I'm not on the side of the rapist. I have full sympathy for the 10-year-old, but you have to understand that when it comes to women are kind of weird. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because of Blind Girl, but part of the reason she had those twins wasn't because of a sexual relationship that she consented to. But the reason she kept those babies and brought them to term was because at that point in her life, she was so alone that she thought that they were kind of like a gift from God to her. She didn't take the rapist as like, oh my God, like this is going to cause problems to me. She was just like, yeah, he's a bad guy. But these two babies that are in me have nothing to do with what he did. They're completely innocent.
Well, that's it. That's the argument that I found most convincing was, okay, the guy raping the woman is that guy is a piece of shit. That's not the baby's fault.
And I get that not everybody has that. Like not every woman is a PG. Not they just aren't. And I do 100% understand that. But she's a 10-year-old girl. So if I could think of conflicted emotions for a girl who's probably felt like she's been taken advantage of by everybody in her life, I would be hesitant on giving up my babies because they might be the only love I have in my life.
Terry made the same point that I was going to make. Is that the bad person here is the rapist. That's the person you punish. You don't kill the baby because the baby was the only innocent person here. The mother probably not 100%, probably pretty close, even in a rape. But the point being is that the baby's the innocent person. That's the last person you kill.
Right, exactly.
So,
like I said, it really does come down to the 10-year-old. In all honesty, I would be going with what she would want because
opinionated Scotsman. Hello. Sorry.
She's 10. But I doubt that they've actually talked to her about what she really wants.
That's another thing is there's a lot of, well, he was this old and she was that old. Well, first of all, she's 10. So anybody older than 10 is going to be, he was this old and she was that old. So no, that's not going to change no matter how wide the difference was. He's the bad guy. Try to keep the focus on who is the problem here. He is the bad guy.
Nobody here has said that the 10-year-old isn't innocent. I'm saying that I'm wondering if anybody has asked the 10-year-old what she feels in this, because the 10-year-old is also carrying an innocent baby. So I'm just saying, like, when a bunch of adults start talking, you rarely ever do they actually ask the kid, how are you? Are you okay? What would you like to see happen, darling?
Yeah.
I know that we don't want to encourage kids to do medical things to themselves. But at this point, she's already had that taken from her.
Yeah.
That's why she's innocent.
That age difference. See, I have a problem with using it's the age difference is not a justification to kill a baby. So I understand the age difference. A lot of people have this. A lot of people say, well, the girl is 23, but the guy is 70. And that you shouldn't do that. That's a bad thing. You talk about, young women having, getting married to really, really older men. And it seems like almost every woman is against that, just about. Not 100%, but almost everyone is. And, once you get to the point where you're old enough as an adult to make a decision, I don't think age makes a difference anymore. Like, I am 60, my girlfriend's I'll be 60 at the end of the year. My girlfriend's 32. It's 30 years difference between us. Being in that situation, she's not marrying me, or she's not with me, because I'm older. It's not a fetish. It's just, we just happen to fall in love. What do you do? What do you do when two people of disparate ages end up just being truly and honestly in love with each other? What do you say? Oh, I'm sorry. Even though you're a full-grown adult and 31 years old, even though that's true, and we have emotions where we can't be together because our ages are too far apart. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So now saying 10 and 28, I'm not trying to justify that, but I'm just saying that if you're going to be angry that he raped her. That's what you have to be angry about. Not the age difference on a scale of 1 to 10. The age difference doesn't matter in this because it's already bad. You're not making any more bad by adding the age difference.
Yeah, no, Spud Gun was implying that we were trying to not
I did say
that the
what he's
10-year-old
talking
wasn't.
about.
Yeah,
I said that though. He's right.
Yeah,
I did say that.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Just because she's 10 years old, I wasn't there. I have no idea what happened. You know, no one's going to tell me. You're not going to hear on the news what happened. So I'm not going to say she is 100% because I don't know.
Yeah, I think the point is the baby is the only one who's had no opportunity to do anything wrong.
Right. Correct.
So that is 100% guaranteed to be innocent because it hasn't been born. So it's like it cannot have done anything wrong.
Kiefer Dam says, check your logic likes older women. I was married once. If I haven't told everybody this already, you guys know I was married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was married for 3 years. My wife was 7 years older than me. Only married once, and my wife was an older woman, by 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Same age as my older brother.
Yeah, I think Scotty does have a point though, Hammer. Like the difference between what you're talking about in this situation though is that you are still both consenting adults. You are still both capable of making those decisions. A 10-year-old though, on the other hand, with the 20-year-old, I have my serious doubts.
It's for me, it's kind of like saying he raped her, but she had a hangnail, or he had acid indigestion. You know, the problem here is the rape, not the age difference. I mean, I can understand you being outraged and you want to add to that outrage by pointing out all the other possible problems as well, or even correctly point out ones that are truly possible.
The age difference does matter because she's 10.
The age difference is not what's important.
It's not. Victim. You're right. Exactly. What happens if he was 16? You wouldn't worry about it anymore? No. You'd still be pissed.
I would because she's still 10.
Right. The age of her is the thing, not the difference in the ages. That's the point I was trying to make. He's 28, but you should be every bit as outraged if he was 15 or 18 or 21. All those numbers are wrong.
Yes.
See what I'm saying?
The gap between the ages is not the issue.
Yeah.
The fact that
if gap was the
gap of the victim is the problem.
Right. If the gap was 1 year, say the boy was 11 and she was 10, would you still be outraged?
We aren't moralizing the rape of a child. We're talking about the infant that she's carrying and whether or not anyone has talked to her about what she would like to do so that she's not being violated more often than not.
We don't know.
Because we don't know.
She could be talked to. That's an assumption.
You know, and that's just it. Like there's a lot going on there where I seriously question a lot of the adults because they've kind of fucked up already in the first place.
Right.
Like,
you got to keep your eye on the ball here. The thing is, she was raped, and that's the thing that has to be dealt with. All the ancillary stuff on top of it, while not good, is not the point. He's got to go to jail. That's what has to happen. You don't take the crime out on the kid. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I've been trying to make.
Right.
Like I said, it's mostly just making sure that people are listening to her and making sure that she's actually okay. Because they keep talking about what they want to do in regards to her. And that's where I'm at. Like she's already been, like I said, she's already been hurt.
Yeah.
More than she already has been.
Parents are responsible for the child until they're 18. So parents have the right to make the decision for the child.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I don't think the child's going to say, I want to keep it. At 10 years old, I don't think. Again, like I don't know how anything about her, or the details of the whole thing. But I can't imagine a 10-year-old kid has the agency to make that kind of decision.
You would be surprised. Women are weird. We're very weird when it comes to babies, and we're really weird when it comes to the hormones. And when we have situations in our life where, in all honesty, like I said, I don't know what her mental state is. I don't know what her family life is. But if she'd been struggling for a while with this dude and her mom, like I said, the 2 children that you have might be the only hope that you have to have somebody in your life that gives a shit about you.
Didn't he get both of them pregnant?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I remember reading somewhere where he raped her and had a child with the mom too. The mom was pregnant.
I mean, she might resent him too, or she might just be violated. I mean, she's 10 years old. I'm sure she feels violated, but like I said,
he's still living in the house.
That's terrible. Like the fact that they're even in that situation still is the part that they should also be outraged about.
There were a lot of weird things going on with this because they sent her out of state to get the abortion when she didn't really have to be sent out of state. That was in the news as well.
Yeah.
She said that she couldn't get the abortion in the state that she was in. She had to send him across state lines, which is what all the abortion people latched onto. Oh, the state wouldn't give her an abortion. She had to go across state lines. They were all harping on that. And it turns out that she doesn't have to go across state lines, that she could have stayed in the state. But the reason that was posited for why she did it that way was to hide it as a crime and not get her boyfriend. Can't imagine calling him a boyfriend after doing all this, getting him in trouble. I can't believe that the mother is still protecting the boyfriend after raping her child. There's so much fucked up about this.
There really is.
There's many people in that story who should be in jail. Not just the boyfriend. I'm sorry. I dislike moms who sacrifice their children because their pussy is lonely. Just saying it what I think. It, you know, I'm sorry that you were so lonely that your child's welfare means dick to you.
Yeah. Spudgun says it's not the age gap per se. It's the fact that the child was in a non-consensual situation. Most states have Romeo and Juliet laws for this reason, and this was way beyond that. It certainly was. 28 to 10, it's way beyond that.
Yeah.
Because the Romeo laws are usually within like 2 years or 3 years or something like that.
But also for a lot older than 10. It's usually like
16,
the
18.
legal age is 18 and like an 18 and a 16-year-old.
Right. 16 and 18, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know they were called Romeo and Juliet laws, but it makes sense. I don't know Romeo and Juliet really well. Were they of 2 disparate ages?
In the play?
I believe so, yes. I don't remember how much, though. I don't think it was the worst
I don't think it's a reference to the age gap. I think Romeo and Juliet, because they were both underage in the play.
Oh.
Like they were both young.
When I was getting my degree, I had the choice between classic literature or American contemporary literature, and I took American contemporary literature instead. So I never really studied the classics.
I don't know the details of Romeo and Juliet because I haven't read it in a really long time. But from memory, the point is that they were both young. That's why it's a Romeo and Juliet law.
Assassin has more information that I didn't know. The illegal alien. First of all, this guy was an illegal alien. I didn't know that. Was in the mother's household and had been living sheltered from the law by her. So he was supposed to be deported. I didn't know that. All underage abortions must be reported to the authorities, and that's why they cooked up this crazy scheme, right? That's what I thought I had heard or read somewhere before. Romeo was 17, Juliet was 13.
Yeah, I was going to say for that time zone that I thought it wasn't the worst out of the age groups. Sorry, it's just 13 and 17 isn't bad for like medieval times.
Yeah.
It's funny. The time that the play was written, 13 is not that.
No, it's not.
It's funny how times has changed, but you have to understand that everything was done younger back then, even 50 years ago, because people died sooner.
True.
You know, I mean, my lineage doesn't really prove that out, but people died younger long time because there wasn't medications.
You also matured a lot faster too.
You had to because you're going to die.
Even our grandparents, like I do look at the old photos of like, you know, your grandparents aged like 13, 14, already working in factories and shit. You know, like we are stunted in comparison to our ancestors. Just saying.
Yeah, you had to grow up sooner because you're going to die sooner. So to get everything in before you were dead, you had to begin early. You
Yeah.
know, now we have plenty of time. What's the current life expectancy? I actually went down this year, but it was like 78 or something like that. It's like,
I would almost argue we've got too much time because people put it off too long
Hmm.
because they think they've got forever. It's like, oh, I'm going to live till I'm 90. Who cares?
right.
But
Yeah,
you're not going to be fertile till you're 90 is the issue.
Well, women
So
aren't.
we're going to be
that's what I
surrounded
mean.
by blue, green, and purple gumdrops. You're welcome.
But no, but like if you tell a woman that you should be like looking to settle down in your 20s, they're gonna be like, why? That's crazy. But I mean, that's your
Genetically,
prime fertility.
yeah,
That's
genetically, it's the right thing to do.
It's
Because
just that that's not really what they do, though. Like
because
if by shop around, I that hasn't been what I've seen women actually do. Like that's what they're
no,
supposed to be doing,
they
but
should
that's
do.
not what they're achieving.
Yeah,
You know?
we create sperm. Americans, men create sperm, so it's always sounds terrible. It's fresh.
Mhm.
But women are born with eggs. They don't make new ones as life goes on. They expend eggs over time to the point where they don't have any eggs. So if you're having a baby at 40, that egg has been in your body 40 years.
Mhm.
Hmm. But
So,
also we have to end the stream because Gunsky arrived.
oh, exactly the right time. It's 9:56 in 30 seconds. How's it going, Jack? Um, yeah, we'll get out here soon. I don't want to spend too much time, so I don't feel all that great. I forgot to mention to you guys before the stream one of the reasons why I'm not feeling so good. My brother stopped by and he brought some Taco Bell with him,
Mm.
Uh-oh.
and I didn't have any the day before yesterday. But yesterday evening, after everyone had gone to bed and I was still awake because I'm a night owl, I was a little hungry, so I started rummaging around. I thought maybe I'll have, maybe some ice cream or some grapes or something. I was like, oh, taquitos. I wonder if they would be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they weren't.
no, they were not. Here's the story. No, they're not. Yeah, I didn't have them in my stomach for very long, about an hour, and that was it. So
Oh, dear.
that, along with everything else, is probably the reason why I feel like crap right now. But I have to get to bed
Yeah.
fairly early tonight because tomorrow's gonna be a nice day. And I bought a power washer for my car. One of the problems with living in the mountains is it's very easy for mold to develop here. Just
Right.
spontaneously out of nowhere, outdoors in the sun, you still get mold. I don't know. I don't know. The garbage, we have two garbage cans, one for recyclables and one for regular trash. The recyclables sits right next to the regular trash can. The recyclable has mold on the outside, and the other one doesn't. It sits in the sun. It's in the sun more often than the other one is, but it's the one that's got mold on it. Anyway, I got mold on the inside and the outside of my car, so I cleaned out the outside with the pressure washer, so the outside is sparkling, but I still have to get the inside taken care of. But now that I have a pressure washer, I've always wanted to clean the house. With all the previous hay and all the flowers and stuff out in the lawn and stuff like that, the outside of the house has gotten a little dingy. And I'm not that, my driveway is gravel. So every time you drive down, there's a fair amount of dust that gets picked up when you drive to and from. So all this stuff has, over the couple of years, gotten all around the outside of the house. There's areas of it that are just a little, it's not like you can't tell that the house is white. Obviously it's still white, but it just looks like it needs a good cleaning. It's dirty. It needs to be cleaned. So tomorrow, with the temperature being up in the 70s, it's going to be the last time it's going to be that high before the winter comes. I'm going to bust out the pressure washer, and I'm going to try it with just water first and see if the water is enough to clean the house with. If not, I have a spray that I used on the car, and I'll mix that in and use that and see if I can get the house clean, because it's just a little too dingy for me. I could probably wait until spring of next year to do it, because there's going to be a fair amount of snow, and that's going to clean up some of it anyway. And we do get a lot of horizontal rain because there's no trees around. It's a farm. It's just open ground, But it just annoys me. Every time I go outside to get the mail and come back, I'm looking at the house, I'm like, it's so dirty. So I'm going to give that a shot tomorrow. And to do that, I'm going to need to be up early. So I don't want to spend too much time tonight futzing around.
Well, I didn't have anything important to say. I was just really proud the other day that I watched one of Frosted streams because I always miss those. And V, I got Monkey to read that cornholio joke. I was hoping he would. Because he eats so much Taco Bell, he's definitely going to need some TP for that bumholio, you know? But, you know, women totally steal jokes. I just didn't want to steal ones about my vagina because, Amy, that's gross. That's gross, Amy. Yeah. Stop. No one needs to know about that.
Well, hopefully yours doesn't smell like a barnyard animal.
No, mine smells like I showered and I cleaned down there.
Very good. I have no problems with what's not regular tacos, although they probably wouldn't bother me either, but the soft tacos. Whenever I go to Taco Bell, I always get a soft taco because for some reason flatbread doesn't bother me. It's weird how bread bothers me, because if I just get a slice of Wonder Bread or something like that, just white bleached flour bread, it'll make me sick. But if I have potato bread, which still has wheat in it, I'm generally okay. And the same thing with flatbread.
Could it have something to do with the yeast, maybe?
Maybe it's yeast that's bothering me more than the wheat. I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
I wouldn't, because that's the only thing I could think of that's really kind of not in there.
I don't know what the components of a potato bread are.
What about dense breads? Like if you were to take a dense bread and then just like a thin slice of it?
The only dense bread I can think of would be the Catholic Eucharist. That's a dense bread, but you only have a very small size of a quarter. That wouldn't bother me no matter what. But I don't know. Besides flatbread, which doesn't seem to bother me, the flatbread that you get at Taco Bell or the flatbread that you get at Subway, neither one seems to upset my stomach very much. So maybe it's yeast, not wheat that's the problem. But then I can't eat macaroni, which is basically wheat flour.
I hope you write this stuff down and talk to a nutritionist about this kind of stuff, because sometimes it's something weird like yeast, or I wouldn't know, you know, because like they're I'm not going to call you a celiac, but I do know the difference between someone who's bullshitting and someone who's serious.
Yeah. Well, I have two things bother me too. Is when I eat, my stomach will bother me, and then separately my intestines will bother me. Yeah. So I can eat something and it'll bother one, but not the other. Like the only thing I found that I could just eat as much as I want, as whatever I want, never have any problem at all, is corn chips. You know, the regular yellow corn chips with a little bit of sea salt on them. Yeah. I can eat bags and bags and bags of those back to back and no problems whatsoever, because it's corn, it's not wheat.
It's,
maybe
I think we should wrap up if we don't want to get to bed.
Yeah, it's 10:03. It's probably time to get going. I have to search my hard drive because I promised Cuberdam I would play Aaliyah. So I keep music for the show under my pictures folder because that's appropriate. All right, here we go. I found it. A little loud. Okay. Well, a lively debate. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Thanks everybody for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most